Hey guys, it's a modern day Nana. Okay, so we are going to make some honeycomb ornaments. Now, I made a few little ornaments and I don't really know that I'm going to be using little ornaments, but I was definitely thinking some big ornaments would be cool. Maybe like hanging in the windows, kind of like, you would do like the snowflakes or something hanging. I've got one big picture window. So anyway, so I started messing with that. I will show you, I'll show you the process, but I wanted to show you a few I got done. And I just made up my own patterns. And like I said, I wanted them big. So like here's one. How cool is that? So, all right, let me see. So, the supplies we need are some twine, these were made out of twine. I want some tassels for, to put on the bottom. So these are made out of twine and just some wood beads I had. These wood beads actually, the bigger ones came off of this ring from Dollar Tree. And the others just came off of a strand. If you just get the strands, I think that's just a better way. I might have gotten these at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, but then you just, these are the natural ones, but then you just cut it and, take what you want. So I've got a couple of different size beads I'm working with. I think this was Walmart, but any twine. I've made these out of that twine. I made these actually out of mop head from Dollar Tree. And these came like on the bottom of something. Might have been, some of them might have come off of the wood beads, but I have a couple of those. I thought, well, they're pre-made, why don't we use them? And then paper-wise, these are just copy paper that I took and dunked in tea and tea-dyed them. And the reason they're a little more crinkly, which I wanted, than maybe they would be, is because when I took them out of the tea, I just wadded them up. Let me show you. So when I took it out of the tea, and then shook it out and laid it out to dry. So this is just copy paper. We've got a couple of those, and like I said, I just took the lid of a cup and made my own. You can get templates, all kinds of them, off of the internet. And then this is paper bags. Oh, see, this one's done. How cool is that? How cute is that? So this is just paper lunch bags. Dollar Tree paper lunch bags. I used about 30 per ornament. Okay. So I've got a couple of those. These are, I think this is my favorite. Tea-dyed again. I just dunked them in tea, pulled them out. You could do this in coffee. I just wanted mine all natural, so I just, wanted neutral tones. Coffee filters. Grab you some coffee filters from the Dollar Tree. And that's what those are. And then I made, this one I don't have done yet. I was going to show you how I did it. And then I did the same thing, coffee filters, but I made like a little mushroom out of it. I thought that was cute. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. Super duper easy, guys. I tried some of the smaller ones too. They are more difficult because, you're dealing with a tighter, smaller area that you've got to work in. So I went ahead and strung my beads kind of how I thought I would want them, just on this twine. That's what the hangers are for all of these, and then just put beads. So, you know, that would be totally up to you. I just took cardboard cereal box. I think this was a pizza box, and put a back and a front so that when we put them together, I just have my, I don't have any plain silver ones, but there's plenty of white ones and yellow ones in here we can use. So I just got paper clips. That way we can store them, and you know, you don't have all this to store, then they get crushed. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave them like this and we can do it. So, oh, okay, here's one. Let me show you first. So I just, and there, it's a little wonky. It's not even really straight, but we're not going to worry about that. See, it's kind of like instead of a round, it's more like an oval. You can make whatever shape you want. This was the trash bag, or the lunch bag. It is as easy as this, guys. You take your stack. I did about 30 for each one of these. So you cut out 30 pieces of whatever paper you want, and here is the process of putting them together. Now, I tried a few different things. This is by far the best, so I like this one the best. You just run a bead of glue along the edge and run a bead of glue right down the middle. See that? Down here, and glue it down. Try to keep these straight when you glue them down. It's pretty forgiving, but you know, let's try to keep them straight. Let me show you one more time. So you got a bead of glue right here on the edge and one down the middle. See? Lay your papers down, and you do that for all 30 papers. Okay, when you're done with the 30 papers, you're going to have a stack that looks like this. A couple of them are going to be glued. Okay? Then you go back in, once you've got your stack, you go back in, and on the pages that nothing is glued, you make just 2 straight lines. I'm just guesstimating, but about, divide your paper in thirds. So you got 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Okay? And glue that down. Go to the next open page where nothing has been glued. So it's every other page. Do the same. Okay? It's as easy as that. Now I'm using hot glue. This is just a low temp little one I had. It's working great. You could use probably any kind of glue. You just might have a little, more dry time. And the nice thing about hot glue, and see how it's, and this is what will end up happening when you get them all glued together. I've got 30. Okay, then I just took my cereal box, cut the template out, and then made it a little bit smaller. That way, when you go to open your ornament up, you've got something here you can take and use a paper clip on. Probably want a couple per, and you've got something to grab on besides just the little thin paper, whatever you've got. Now, I've got other kinds of paper too, and I thought, oh, that would be cool. I've got some mulberry paper, so whatever kind of papers you've got would be neat to experiment with. I just, like I said, I wanted mine to be neutral. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. See? So with a couple paper clips, just like the old, just like with the old school ones. I'm old enough, maybe some of you are, old enough to remember these as decorations. Now I didn't get real super duper fancy. I just made a couple of easy patterns. Okay? So there's that one. And we'll put a hanger on it, and we will put a tassel on the bottom, and then we can, excuse me, and then we can hang them all together and make a cute arrangement. Or you could do them, like I said, individually. I kind of made different ones. So there's the round one. Here is the same thing with the coffee filter. I did the very same thing. It's about 30 coffee filters that I tea-dyed. Put the paper on the front and the back, something to grab to, and then just did the very same thing. I put a bead of glue here and a bead of glue here, laid them all down, all 30. Then I went back into the open pages and did 2 beads of glue to divide it in thirds. And then you come up with that. So pretty nifty. On this one, I did really simple, but I thought it turned out really cute. This is the tea-dyed copy paper. I just went in and let me see. Oh, I don't know if I have any left, guys. Well, I did the same thing. I laid down all the papers, glued them here, and glued them here. All 30 of them. Then on the open pages that weren't glued down, I only glued here and here. So it doesn't really make a honeycomb, but I like the way, well, it kind of does in its own way. See what I mean? So I glued the ones that weren't already glued down. So that's every other one I glued together. Okay? So I think that turned out pretty good. You want to try to keep this flush. I got a little wonky. This one's good. I got a little wonky with a couple of them, but this one is definitely wonky. It's like the first one I made. If you can see that, look how much different. But it's very forgiving. So, so that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and, oh, I didn't show you this one. This was the mushroom one. Did the same thing. I just cut a coffee filter down. Okay, and all I did on this one was I glued them down. And that's all I did. I didn't go back in and do anything. So I glued here and I glued here. I opened it up and I did that all the way down, here and here, and laid them down. Nothing extra. That's what I did with this one too. I glued here, here, and here. That's all I did. Hopefully that'll make it clear. So here, here, and here. That's all the gluing I did. Okay? And this one, here, here. Okay? So these are actually a little simpler. It took a little more cutting, but, you know, that's all right. Oh, I was going to show you guys. I got this. It was $1, brand new. But isn't this great? It's one of those old pie, you know, to roll out your pie crust on. But this makes a great surface. I'm in the kitchen. It is so hot outside, you guys. I just couldn't hack it. So let's go ahead, and I think on these two little ones, I decided to just do 3 little wooden beads, and on this one, I've got 3 beads up here. I ran this down and tied this to it. I think this needs a bead though. So I am going to see if I can, I might have to pull this off and put a longer string on here, which is fine. I mean, it's not like it's bearing any weight, so let me just take and I think maybe just 1 bead. You know, just something to kind of finish it up. And then I'm just going to glue, I'm just going to put a little glob of glue and just stick this on here, and it will hold just fine. You know, these fibers are good to catch stuff. This is a little bit of a rough twine, but you know, they've dyed it like a white. I'll go ahead and put this bead down and it'll help hold it. We'll just glue it right on there. And like I said, look for these beads. Now, I know Hobby Lobby, I try to go in there once a season just to see what's going on, pick up some stuff like this, but they will have seasonal big, you know, strands of beads, and you can get them for like $2 if you hit the 40% off. Say the Christmas stuff, they'll have Christmas beads. See, that's good. That's nice. Okay, so, and I'd already glued this on. I've got about 4 inches, depending on where you're going to hang them, what you're going to do, but I've got about 4 inches of hang, you know, on my loop. And then I just took 3 little beads. Here I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bead of glue, and you want to give her, you know, a little bit of room right here to bobble a little bit. And then I'm just going to cut this off. It's not going anywhere. Like I said, there's no weight on it. You know, it'd be nice if you just had 1 long strand, but you know, I was just messing around. Like if you did this and just made 1 long strand, but that's fine. Okay, so let's set this one aside and let it set up, and we'll go ahead and do this one. Again, I could have done the same thing. Well, let's say about 4 inches. But, you know, live and learn, as my mother-in-law would say. Bless her heart. She was such an awesome person. She taught me so much, you guys. I loved her so much. She's been gone. She passed 7 months, I think, to the day that my husband did. He was kind of a mama's boy, but man, I would have been a mama's girl. You know, she was awesome. I loved her so much. She taught me so much. I got married when I was 18. Didn't know a thing about a thing, as you do, you know, don't. She was already retired. Huge blessing to me. Okay, so we've got this one. But did I tell you what she'd say? Which sounds kind of bad now. All those old sayings. She'd say, "Live and learn, die and forget." And then she'd laugh. I'd be like, yeah, I guess so. She had lots of good sayings. My dad does too. I should write them down, you know. I'm going to give this, this is a little wonky in here. I lost one of the things, but that's all right. I'm just going to give this a little squirt of glue. I love this little low temp gun. I'm used to using that big old awful hot one. And I mean, it's great and it works and I love it. I say awful because I get burned bad. It's my own fault. It is my own fault. See, I feel like this needs a little more than I feel like we need to tie a string or something on here. I don't know. Can we get something on here? That's super duper short. We might be able to. It'd be fine just to glue it on the bottom, but I don't know. There. No, I don't know. Here, let's just stick a little bead of glue on there. You could almost practically like touch this right out of the. I think my hands are so, my fingers have gotten so tough because I'm always burning them with that super duper hot one. So this one's kind of nice. Well, the reason I grabbed it is because I figured it had a pretty good little tip on it. Now, for what I was doing here, now I know you can get the really fine tipped ones, but, you know, we're using what we've got. And that's why also I use the paper sandwich bags. Those have been laying around here forever. They're great to have, but, you know, oh yeah, that is cute. Okay, let's set that aside to dry. Now those two tassels are a little bit different color, but you know, I figure they're in the same family, so we're okay. I think on this one I decided to do these little guys, which are the mop. You know, I think everybody, a couple years ago, everybody was using the mops from the Dollar Tree. So tassels are definitely a great little item to use. Now I took these mop strands get all crazy, so I just took a little piece of tape, you know, like at the end of your shoestring, and wrapped that around there so it made it easy to go through the that hole in that bead. Oh, I'm making a mess. Good thing this doesn't show. You know, you're not going to see this. And like I said, it'd been nice to have just one long string, but that's all right. Like I said, doing about 4 inches here. I'm eyeing it. I could put a little, I did put a dab of glue on that one. Okay. I'm just going to kind of run it down, run a bead of glue down the middle here, and, you know, just put it right on top of my ornament, where it's not going to interfere, you know, when I open it up, but it's not going to have a big gap either, you know what I mean? That's how I want mine. You do yours however you want to. That's the fun of this. Like I said, I just made up my own patterns, you know, to the size I wanted, and that's the nice thing. You can just do that according to really specialize them to what you're going to do with them. And I might actually take these out. It was kind of an afterthought because I just wanted to get you guys out a Christmas in July. Usually I do Christmas in Julys, but I've been so wound up about my son's getting married, and so I've been doing lots of like foresty type videos. They're having a Lord of the Rings forest type wedding. Which one? It's this one. I kind of got these laid out ahead of time, you know, to save us a little bit of time. So yeah, I've been wrapped up in that. Tomorrow night I will take a video. If any of you are interested, I will take a video. It'll probably be the next one I put out on, we're going to go, it's not tomorrow night, it's the night after. We're going to go decorate, and the night after is the shower. So, oh, hey! Well, this one, I guess I can show you how to do this real quick. This one hasn't been done. I guess I was saving it for you guys. Okay, so with this one, we've already got because we started and we did all of them, a bead here and a bead here of glue. So now we go back in and we do like we did the other one. Cut it in thirds. And it should just open right up to the page you need to do. You might have to give it a little bit of help. Now we can also take and age the edges if we want. I've got my antique wax out here by Waverly. It's the chalk paint wax. It's really as good to use on whatever. I've just got like a stencil brush. I got a nice pack of stencil brushes several years ago off of Amazon, like a 3-pack. I don't even wash it. You know, I've just kind of designated that one for the antique wax. So if we wanted to age up the edges a little bit, we could definitely do that with that. We'll see what we think. But actually, this would go, as I was saying, this would be cute for the shower. I did the shower, for you guys that haven't been watching, I did the shower in a light academia theme. I don't know, I just didn't want, you know, obviously the same people are going to be at the shower that are pretty much going to be at the wedding. I just didn't want it to be the same. And there were some things in her Pinterest board that she really liked that I couldn't figure out like how to insert into the decor for the wedding. So I thought this would be a nice way to kind of highlight that. And they both make good light academia people. I could see them being dark academia people easily in the winter. And that's really, you know, just kind of the difference there in light and dark academia, if you haven't looked into that. One's light and airy, and but definitely centers around learning and that kind of thing, library-ish kind of thing, and the other kind of reminds you more of a dark study. So we're going light for this, and we might be able to incorporate some of that into the wedding. But I mean, it's been a bit of a challenge for me because I'm used to like, okay, I'll just do it all. And the venue actually, oftentimes, the people getting married don't do anything. The venue does everything, sets up everything. You know, they maybe bring in some fresh flowers or something like that. But so I think it's probably definitely a bit of a challenge for me. I haven't talked a lot to them, but a challenge, and it's nice. I'm just not. I'm going to go to this side. I think it'll make it easier. So kind of when you're halfway through, you can go to the next one. Yeah, so I'll be bringing you all of that too, because I want to show you guys. I think the last video I did was the one of the moss chair. That turned out so pretty. I sent the bride to be a picture of it, and she loved it. So that is awesome. That's my goal. And we're kind of making it like a remembrance chair. As I mentioned, my husband passed away gosh, it'll be 8 years in a couple months. And his mom passed away, like I said. This is really wonky, guys. I'm just going to kind of push it. Just kind of push it together. It's just paper. I think it'll be fine, but somehow this got wonked up. Now, that's the thing about this, glue. You might have some streamers, but for speed and good gluing power and all that, that's fine. I'll just pull them off. Let's see if we can make this thing shut. Yeah, see, like I said, it's even though it was super. Oh, here's one we didn't get done. See, and that's what happens. That's why you got to look at it, because sometimes you miss some. And yeah, you might have to pull off some little, bits and pieces, but as far as I'm concerned, small price to pay. You can get those precision tip glues that have like the precision tip. I don't really have any, so, oh my gosh, I've got glue all over my fingers. Voila! And you might have to go in and manipulate a little bit, because sometimes some of them get kind of stuck together where they shouldn't. But, as I say all the time, guys, we are just playing, so pretty cute. Okay, so we have our tassel here and our tassel there. This is too long. We can see it, so let's just cut that off. All right, well, there's those. Okay, let's see. We have the big ones and the mushrooms left to do. I'm going to use these twine ones. And I just put like a small bead and a big bead. Y'all probably know how to make a tassel. I mean, I don't think I have a video on it. Maybe I'll do a video of just like super easy stuff to do. Now, there is a small end on here and a big end, so I need to decide which is which. I think I want the small end at the bottom, but that, again, is purely, purely your preference. And this one's a tiny bit wonky too, but very forgiving craft, which is nice. Okay, so we got our tassel on, and we can trim these up too. I trimmed them up a little bit, but sometimes you got to do a little more. Let's give ourselves about 4 inches. Let's just put a little bead of glue where we want. I think that's a little long. I've got to work tonight, so I'm glad I took off. I'm not sure. They're having a music series out at the barn where my daughter works. Tomorrow night will be the last in their music series. And it's people we go listen to pretty often. They're called Tambora. They're a lot of fun. They're, they play Latin. They play Latin music. And a lot of fun to dance to. We know the drummer. Me and my friends know the drummer. Nice guy. So anyway, I'm not sure how they came upon. I thought it was an interesting choice for the barn. Yeah, that will be the last in their series of this. Oh, I love it. I'll take these outside and hang them up and show you guys. Okay, there's that. I did a bunch of pre-work because nobody wanted to, y'all didn't want to. Now, make sure I do this right. Put the bottom where I have the bottom. Okay, this was the one we wanted for the top, and this is the one we wanted for the bottom. Yeah, it's funny. I got this glue gun and this whole thing of glue sticks. It was full in a bag of craft stuff at the thrift store. You guys, you don't know what you're going to get. And if you know, like this I didn't have, but if you want to make a list of things you're looking for, then you can have that. I had actually looked at on Amazon. I really wanted just one of those little wooden drying racks. Don't quote me on this, but it was just those little wooden drying racks that you, like accordion style, that you set up, but I wanted to be able to dry my papers and stuff on it, and I want to say they wanted like a good 25 or up for them. Lo and behold, I was like, you know, I'm a tightwad. I was like, I am not, I am not doing that. Anyway, so then it was probably about 2 months later, so, you know, you got to be patient. Found one at the thrift store. It was like $2.99. I mean, it had been used, you know, but, oh, I love these. I don't know which one's my favorite, but all I'm going to do is throw paper over it to dry. Here's our little mushrooms. Now, did I get both? No, I didn't get this one. Here, let me show you. Super easy. So I'm running out of these glue sticks. Woo, boy, we are, man, there's long, they're bigger than the glue gun. Last glue stick. I might have some little ones somewhere from eons ago, but okay. All right, here's our last little mushroom. Now, I thought I had this one glued, but I didn't. So what we're going to do is, on the pages that we didn't glue down when we originally put it together, I'm just going to put a little dot of glue right here at like the button part of the mushroom. Okay? And that will give us the desired look we want. Okay. Just a little dab. Now see, so 2 pages are coming over, dab of glue, 2 pages are coming over, dab of glue, same. Because we already got it glued down. I left these so I could show you guys. Then I forgot I left them. Now, if you wanted to also, like I said, you could do coffee. If you wanted them a different color, you could do a different flavored tea. I've dyed papers used like raspberry tea. Ooh, thunder. Raspberry tea before. Oh wow, all of a sudden it literally just came up a clap of thunder and pouring rain. Wow. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I did go out and water yesterday and it was hot as hot could be. The mosquitoes were biting on me. Whoa, that's crazy. Weather's been really wild, you guys. Everywhere. It's just really very distressing, honestly. You know? I don't know. Anyway, okay. So, we'll just glue this down, then we'll put our tassel on, and now this coming tassel, I just used yarn. I had, these are great, you know, these kinds of projects are great to make tassels and that kind of thing is great if you just got a little bit of yarn left. It was literally just a little ball of yarn. Okay, now we got it. Okay. So when we open it up, you could almost sit this on a table or something. That'd be cute. You know, you'd have to glue it like, you'd have to glue the base down to something. So on this one, yeah, this was just this miscellaneous yarn. I literally had enough to do a couple of tassels. So I thought, let's just use it up. Use your junk. That's the thing. We've talked about it before. Use your junk, because there's always more junk to be had. Oh my gosh, you guys. I will show you. I'll get the stuff together. I mean, good for me, but I went the last 3 weeks. My adorable 92-year-old neighbor passed away. And her daughter's been over cleaning out her house. For the last 3 weeks on trash day, she has put out bags and bags of trash. Well, the first 2 weeks, I just rifled through the stuff that, wasn't in bags. And I'll show you what I can remember of that. Some really cool enamel pots. Like the ones that I collect with the white enamel, the old ones with the red trim. I don't even know, a bunch of other stuff. And so I don't even want to know what I've missed, because I did not only got more really super duper cool stuff. I'll show you. I'll just show it all to you. In the neighbor's trash. I did look in the bags, which, obviously she's gone. There hasn't been any food there, so I was like, well, it's not like I'm getting into something nasty, like some old food or something. Anyway, oh my goodness, yeah. I pulled some stuff out of those bags. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And a bunch of the stuff really should have been taken to the, oh, hold on, what did we do here? Oh, I didn't put a bead on here, guys. You know what, I'm gonna leave it. It's alright, we don't have to have beads on every one. We got beads on the top of it, but anyway, yeah. Oh, I was like, oh my goodness. So it's literally across the little street here in town. So, yeah, all told, I probably carried about 4 tubs of stuff. So, that is that. And I have stuff to make more, but, here's the gist of it. So, this is what we did. Now, you can make up whatever patterns you want. But I think these turned out really, really cute. So we've got, this one is, look at this one. I don't know if you can see how wonky that is. There you go. So it's okay if you start out wonky, because like I said, this one looks really good when it's opened up. Okay, so we've got a nice variety here. And we've got a nice variety of papers. Let me find some place to hang these up, and I will show you what they look like. Okay, guys, so I just strung them all together with some of that twine that we used as the loops to hang them, and brought them outside for you guys to see. So I think they turned out adorably. I might use these in the wedding decor somewhere, and also I will definitely use them for Christmas. So I'm going to call them big Christmas ornaments, big honeycomb Christmas ornaments, and I'm super happy with them. So see what you can do. Just take some old paper, some old coffee filters, some old lunch sacks, and some old yarn and twine, and we can make something adorable. Okay guys, I will see you soon with another video. It's the Modern Day Nana. I hope you'll like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.